Hurndig Fusion day number 2. Are we still on track? We only have one more thing to work on really, so it shouldn't be too hard, but we're going to look at the updated values on the updated plan to make sure you guys are still on track. More importantly though, I'm going to present a new 100% free-to-play Dragon 24 speed run. All right, we're talking about close to 4 minutes now, which is a big improvement over the previous video that I did on 100% free-to-play Dragon 24 speed teams. So this one right here is a little bit more optimized, and hopefully you will like this one because it's also 100% success rate so far. So here we go with a quick update on my account. A Dragon tournament is the #1 thing we had to work on as of yesterday. I did spend some extra energy to push it a little bit faster. This was not needed, so you don't have to do this. If you stick to the free-to-play energy, you should be basically around this milestone right here, and you should be able to complete the 1800 points milestone as of today. All right, so that's the big plan. We can also check the Dungeon Divers event, which is this right here. That's also pretty much almost done, but again, I pushed a little bit more than I should have, so not needed. And then here is the artifact enhancement event that I started working on. We have 2000 points, which leads me to the plan, and I'm gonna say overall this is pretty easy. Okay, so far the milestone points have been pretty low. Again, I'm gonna say that hopefully Plarium is finally realizing that sometimes too much is too much. Okay, so artifact enhancement event, 2000 points. That has reduced our total amount of silver needed for all of this. Current estimated total will be about 12 million for both of them, assuming of course the second one is either as hard or easier than this one right here. Okay, so this might go up, which is why this value is in red. I also removed from my total stats down here the extra epic champions. Okay, I'm not going for those, so I removed them from the plan. That has reduced my total amount of energy to about 20,000 total energy. This is very conservative, so it might not require all that energy. And don't forget that you're also getting extra gems and energy from the events and tournaments themselves. Therefore, even though this is a little bit more than a free-to-play energy, it should still technically be doable. As for the shards, I removed the 25 voids. I'm gonna stick to 9 only because, again, I'm not pushing for the epic. I did say a few mystery shards in here. They're not really factored in, but obviously this can lower the difficulty of the summon rush or champion chase for you. I do say still 2 sacred shards for the champion chase, even though I'm going to fuse at least 1 legendary, so technically I need even 1 less, right? So overall, this is going to continue to change a little bit. Okay, so keep checking back to make sure you are up to date. Finally, this leads me to stage 24 Dragon. Okay, so this is the one that I'm farming. Again, I get reduced tournament points, reduced Dungeon Divers points. Not the end of the world. I technically have a better chance at getting gear. All right, so gear upgrades. So the team that I want to present today, guys, is, I'm going to say 110% free to play because there is no Arbiter in there. Okay, you guys criticized the last video to say Arbiter's not free to play. Okay, I get it. So now we're going to stick to login champs only and free to play champs, farmable, whatever. So let's go check out a run. And like I said in the beginning, this is pretty much so far a 100% success rate run. Okay, so we're going really safe here. I could probably optimize this to be even faster down the road, probably even reduce the amount of survivability that we have or crowd control and go for a little bit more glass cannon to see if I can speed this up even more. But for the time being, I wanted to grab some champions that are usually built on my account to see if I can get this to work for you guys. Okay, so no Arbiter. We do have our trusty War Maiden, we do have our Kale, we have our Salda Drakes, Vizix, and Grush the Mangler. Okay, so overall the synergy between these champions is fantastic. It is almost perfect in the sense that we're missing our increased attack to maybe speed this up a little bit more, or perhaps our increased defense to be a little bit stronger as well on our defense-based champions. But still, the champions basically never take a turn. The enemy champions, that is, right? So it is really solid, really safe. You have your leech debuff, you have some continuous heals, you have a passive healing you from Salda Drakes every turn. You do have an AoE provoke to control all the adds. We have some stun sets in here. We do have an affinity breaker set in here on War Maiden, for example, because we want to try and reduce our weak hits. Remember, War Maiden here is weak affinity, but she's our only reliable AoE decrease defense champion, as you saw right there. We did get 4 out of the 5 champions. Okay, so overall, I'm gonna say this is pretty decent. As for Kale, we did gear him to deal some damage. I thought about putting him in lifesteal. Actually, I did try it. It turns out you don't even need lifesteal here because of the continuous heals and the leech debuff. You're plenty good on the survivability. You also have decreased attack from Grush the Mangler for the boss himself. So overall, the champions never die. Your entire team will finish almost at 100% health. Again, very, very safe. Okay, so this is how we deal with the waves. Really, really easy. Now let's go check the boss because this is taking a little bit of time here. So that's it. The boss is the same concept. We apply the leech. We get to heal ourselves. We apply some poisons from Kale. Of course, Frozen Banshee here might be a little bit better for the boss itself, but Kale is better for the waves. So overall, when you kind of compare them side by side, it's kind of the same speed whether or not you use Frozen Banshee. So stick to Kale if you don't have Frozen Banshee for the time being. You also see that we have enough firepower to get that big shield down on the boss. So guys, overall, this is certainly probably the most accessible team you can do. You saw right there, we took a big hit on Vizix with the ally protection. She's really, really, really tanky to take that hit, and she can survive. Even if we do lose her though, you can bring her back up with Sile of the Drakes. Okay, so there you have it. That's it. The entire run, we have decreased attack, decreased crit rate, crit damage. This one, I think it's crit damage. We have a couple poisons, decreased defenses applied. So overall, really solid. I am going to like I said, try to optimize this for it to be even a little bit faster, but so far we're close to about 4 minutes and 20 seconds, 21 seconds. There you have it with a 110% free-to-play team. Now let's go check out the gear, which we're going to do very quickly because I will make dedicated build videos on these champions once I am done tweaking the gear, the masteries, the stats, you know, the whole thing. Okay, so here is a quick overview of Vizix total stats. 5k defense, 213 speed, high resistance ish, high accuracy. This is for the hard Doom Tower, so obviously there is room for improvement in there. I do believe I have all of her skills done, and then here are the masteries. The next one is going to be our Sile of the Drakes. She's also in relentless gear, so obviously this is a little bit more end game gear. Okay, I get that this is not like, you know, brand new account friendly, but you have to understand this is the ultimate end game stuff, right? So same concept here. Relatively high defense, only 4,000 on this one, 217 speed, high resistance, high accuracy, again for the hard Doom Tower, the bosses and whatnot. The skills are all done, and then here are the masteries. Next champion we're going to do is our Grush the Mangler. So this guy I've never used against a clan boss. Okay, this is why he's kind of dedicated for PvE stuff like Dungeons, Faction Wars and whatnot. So he's in a stun set because this guy has 2 AoEs. Here are the total stats on this guy: 190 speed, 3.6k defense, 100% crit rate, and 224% crit damage. You want to try and get a little bit more damage out of your champions if you can. All right, so high accuracy, good enough for the dungeons, not Doom Tower because I don't use that guy in there. So roughly around 220, 240 should be good enough. For the masteries, we do have War Master for the tier 6 on that one. Then we have a trusty War Maiden, which I've put in an Affinity Breaker set for the time being. Is it worth it? Probably not that much. I just had this extra set lying around because I took apart one of the allures because I don't use 2 anymore to farm the Scarab King because I use Euros the Soul Cage. Anyway, all this say that this is a pretty decent set. I thought I'd give it a shot on this champ. We even have the what is it, the Blood Shield ring here. Okay, so I'm gonna say overall this is a pretty fancy War Maiden. Again, I will make a dedicated build video on her once I'm done tweaking the gear. I would try and boost up her offensive stats as well. You certainly want her to survive maybe a hit or two from those Lurias on the second wave, so do give her enough defense though if you want to try and replicate something similar to this. We do have War Master as the tier 6. Finally, we do have our Kale in there, which has a good relentless set, which is offensive, but also you need enough accuracy to land the poison debuffs. I would put more refresh accessories on this guy. If I had more, that would probably help even more. He is really, really fast. It is not needed for him to be really fast. I just grabbed some gear off another champion, put it on him for this test. This is the only champion that I took the gear from another champ. All the other ones are geared as they are for everything else in the game. Okay, so 75% crit rate, 250 accuracy. All the skills are done. Then for the masteries, we have War Master for the tier 6. So there you have it. Quick overview of the 5 champions I currently use for this run right here. Roughly 4 minutes and 20 seconds. I do believe I can do better, so make sure you hit that like button and the follow button so that you do not miss the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys later.